Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go.
Now, a feature presentation.
Good morning, Vietnam!
Welcome to the MatineeChat podcast
There is a God.
with Kathy Kaiser
Oh, stewardess, I speak jive.
and Anthony Wise.
Oh, excuse me, Russell, but I believe I requested the hand job.
He's just ignorant.
Stay connected at MatineeChat.com, on Facebook and Twitter at MatineeChat.
The radio's all yours now.
MatineeChat podcast on now.
Oh, hey, how's it going? I think this is volume 17. I think
Can you believe we're on volume 17 of Matinee Chat?
legal in the state of Missouri. It's pretty exciting. It's pretty exciting.
Very exciting. Very exciting.
Pretty soon we're going to get cigarettes and lottery tickets.
Perfect.
It's going to be awesome. We're smoking cools and stuff.
Ooh, that'll be really
It'll
exciting.
be really great. Matinee Chat podcast. Anthony here along with Kathy Kaiser. Usually starts the program, but today I guess we're trying something new.
Yeah, we are. We're trying
finally
something
teenagers.
new.
Finally going to do something
That's
special.
Right. I was going to let the junior chipmunk start today.
Oh, the junior chipmunk.
There you go.
Wow.
There you go.
Burn.
Oh.
Jeez.
But we need to let everyone know that this week's Matinee Chat is brought to you by Yelp. Yelp is a website and mobile application that connects people with great local businesses, anything from restaurants, bars, and spas to dog groomers, mechanics, even dentists. Yelp is there for you.
Big fan of Yelp. Use it all the time. Yelp.com, and of course, it's only if you don't have the enough data on your phone to just go ahead and just keep the Yelp application. But it's perfect everywhere you go. I mean, really, just gets down to the nitty gritty. But if you're still like me, you still want to experience things yourself. So it's a good reference to gauge things, but still go out there and experience
Get some
yourself.
reviews. Let people
Connect
know.
with local
Yeah.
businesses. It's really great. So this week, a lot of fun movies. We did not get to the Scouts.
Yeah, we didn't
Zombies
get to the Scouts.
One because unfortunately a historical movie came on that I wanted to watch.
We did, but that's
Muy
we
importante.
don't get to talk about it for a couple weeks.
That's why I
yet.
just called it Muy importante. I didn't give it away. I didn't say
Wow.
32 plus 1 or anything. So anyways, we have The Room this week, The Truth, as well as Our Brand is Crisis, and Burnt, the Bradley Cooper flick that all the ladies can't wait to see with the Bradley Cooper eyes.
I
and
can't
the
wait to talk about
Bradley
it, but that
Cooper
one
smile
is
and
last.
Blah, blah, Bradley Cooper. Anyways, the first movie we're going to kick off with is Room, which is based on a book, not a true story, which I kind of felt like at first. 'Cause it seems so real and so unfortunate
There's been a
of a
lot
story.
of stories like this along the way.
Yeah,
but
for
this
sure.
is actually based on Emma Donohue's book. And we have Brie Larson playing a young girl who was picked up at 17 and kidnapped, and who's been living her life in a shed of all things for the last 5 years.
One
6
skylight.
years.
That's it. One skylight, and she has a son to raise in that one small, tiny room.
Right. And the sad part is he's never experienced the outside world. All he knows is those four walls.
But
So let's just say this isn't a pick-me-up.
not to pick me up, but a very good introspect into communication and the mind of a child in terms of they only see what you teach them. They only learn what you're able to show them. So it's very interesting to see what the child had come across in such a small time frame in a very confined room that he never left.
Right. Periodically, I think they had a little television that, was just out there. Not really sure.
It was like Scrabble channels. And it was local channels, too. It was rough.
I mean, and Brie Larson, every time I see her in a film, she gets better. And Jacob Tremblay, the young man who is 7, he plays 5 in the film, I believe, is absolutely phenomenal. I'm thinking Academy Award nominated at some point in his life.
At such a young age, he's really good.
He's very, very good. So what did you think rating-wise, Anthony? What are we going to give Room?
Man, it was a really good movie. Like I said, it's just I would never rush out of the house to go see something that's super depressing unless it's like, oh, this happened to me or I know someone this happened to, so I want to get reference or something. Then I would go see this, right off the bat. Outside of that, if I got the money to spare, I guess go see it. Like I said, it's a good movie. It is a really well done movie. It's just super dark and depressing because, but this actually happens in the world, and it's something that people should, be aware of. And always have to experience. Never should have to experience it, but always be aware that this kind of thing happens, and to pay attention, especially in your neighborhoods. But man, this is a tough one. It was a really well done movie, but I wouldn't leave the house to go see it just because I like peppy stuff.
Well, and before I give my rating, I just want to also tell our listeners that they went to the other perspective in this film that I was not anticipating at the beginning. Was so glad that they did, is they went through the emotional turmoil that happens once they get out of this place where they're
the after
held
effects.
captive, exactly, and very in-depth after effects of what happened. So for me personally, yes, it was a very depressing film, and yes, it wasn't exactly enjoyable. But I would definitely say that I would send you to the movie theater to see this, to experience on the big screen. So we're a little different there on that perspective, but I say must see on the big screen.
It is definitely worth it. Like I said, it's just a matter of the subject, whether or not you want to leave the house and spend money on that. For me, I always watch comedies because I'm just a big gullible chunker. So, anyways.
Well, you can pick it up on DVD if you're not into depressing films.
Exactly. Catch the full review up at the website, MatineeChat.com. And now it's time for a game we like to call Name That Movie Tune.
Get these morons off the air.
Hey, Tiny, who's playing today?
Wait till Otis sees us!
We're on a mission from God.
I love his music. I do. I'm a Michael Bolton fan.
Name
And
that
this week
movie
is
tune.
Oh,
Kathy's week.
he loves it when it's my week.
And it's also kind of a Halloween podcast, so happy
It
Halloween
is.
to everyone
Happy
out there.
Halloween.
I don't know when you're going to listen to this, but hopefully you
If
guys
they listen
celebrate.
to it right away this weekend, yeah. Share with us on Matinee Chat what you wore for costumes, if you saw any really scary movies this weekend or anything exciting like that.
Yeah, I wonder if anybody has any traditional Halloween movie marathons or something like that.
I don't know. I haven't seen any that were popping up. Usually ABC Family does something.
You know, there's like Disney style like family Halloween movies, like with Melissa, Joan Hart, and people like that. They're never that scary at all. Anyways,
No.
what can you tell us about this tune, Kathy? Before I play it.
Okay.
You chose
Well, like we've talked about before, horror flicks are not my thing, so we had to do a film that I have definitely seen, definitely still scares me to this day. So let's hear what we got to play. Lots of people are going to know what that is from.
It's close to home.
Very close
It's
to home.
Hitting real close to home. If you know the answer to that, hop on. We'll just go below on this page and answer the question for your chance to win dinner and a movie and good old St. Charles. Thanks to our friends over at Warenberg Theaters.
Thank you, Warenberg.
Thank you. All right, the next movie is Truth, the wonderful movie about Dan Rather and him taking on good old GW.
That is it. Well, it's actually based on the book that Mary Mapes, the producer for 60 Minutes, who produced the story with her group of individuals, played by Cate Blanchett. We have Dennis Quaid. We have Robert Redford playing Dan Rather.
And those of you that don't know, this is a story about, of course, them questioning George Bush, former President George Bush's military record, military service,
Exactly.
or lack
for the
thereof,
Texas Air National Guard.
and the whole windfall of nonsense that came with that.
Right. He's running for a second term. We think we've found, something that's going to blow him out of the water, and Kerry's going to take his place.
There's so many things in that second election. He still got voted. I used to live in Florida, so whenever those votes went off the coast of the ocean, we're just like, okay, well, whatever. This is going to happen.
Oh,
That's all the story. That's all the story.
It's Mary Mapes' take on, the story that they did, the downfall of her and Dan Rather.
Yeah, it's crazy.
After the story was done back in 2004. Very sad, but very well acted. I mean, Robert Redford, Cate Blanchett.
It was always really good.
Yeah, always very good. And it's really an incredible film. There's going to be half the people in this country that are going to absolutely love it, and half the people in this country are going to absolutely hate it, just from the political connotations that,
Yeah, I can see
they
that.
portray. And you have to remember it's a movie, and I guess the big joke leading up until this week when the movie released was they called it Truth. Really? It seems more like it's based on conspiracy theories and maybe not factual information. So that's the big joke, that the movie's called Truth and you never really get to the truth.
It's kind of part of journalism and politics nowadays, unfortunately.
I know. Apparently was back then as well. So
it's been an ongoing battle forever. So
and I think Cate Blanchett's going to be up for another Academy Award nomination.
Oh yeah,
she was incredible. I was really happy to see Robert Redford in a role that was perfect for him, and he was very good. I bet Dan Rather was happy Robert Redford gets to play him.
Right?
But, yeah.
You couldn't ask for anything better, except for maybe Paul Newman, but it wouldn't look right.
No,
I think he did a good Dan Rather look.
Wouldn't work, but yeah.
If you're into the story, as many of us live through that actually happening, I recommend you go see it. But if you are if political movies aren't your thing, just don't go.
And know up front, it's very political. I mean,
super.
The context of it's very political, and there will be many a conversation after you view this film.
Can't you just feel the presidential race coming on right before your eyes?
Exactly. So once again, in seeing this film, I thought it was very, very well done. So I'm going to say you're going to spend the money, regardless of your politics, and you're going to go see this. It's a must-see on the big screen.
It's definitely a big turning point, too, because, journalism was already falling off as a questioning authority to really police the situation and politics at that point in time, and it really showed true with the evidence of what happened.
Right, and I think sad, not to give the whole story away, but I think sad in the context, too, is that CBS went after him with both barrels.
Yeah.
Instead of supporting the individuals that are working for him and trying to gather the information, nope. So I think it's one of those things that CBS is going to be sad that we've revisited this story.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Lots of politicians around the world are going to be, maybe not.
CBS was a whole other being before Big Bang Theory. They used to do only Medicine Woman movie shows like that.
Hey, but they've moved. They've progressed.
Sure.
So.
Sure.
Yeah.
Catch the full review up on the website, MatineeChat.com, and feel free to engage us in any of your political discussions with Kathy, though, not me. I'm not interested at all. At MatineeChat on Facebook and on Twitter. The third movie that we saw this week was Sandy B, Crisis Management, where she plays a suave, savvy, very hard, aggressive.
How about he meant to say our brand is Crisis?
What would I say?
Crisis Management.
Oh, well, same thing. Our brand is Crisis.
There we go.
But yeah, she was again a political movie, and she was a political bulldog, and I thought it was really, really well done. I feel I don't want to give so much of it away, so there's still some lingering things to be said about the movie. But Billy Bob Thornton played a great job. Her rival in the movie, who led the campaign for the opposing candidates, and it was a mind game, and I enjoyed it. It was a little longer than necessary, I think, in some parts, but it was a good movie.
Okay, I'm going to give you, it was a little bit longer than maybe it needed to be. And the film itself was actually based on a documentary that Rachel Boynton, who actually was part of writing the screenplay and things too, covered on the presidential election in Bolivia. So it's, lightly based on documentary, actual things that happened in the 2002 presidential election in Bolivia. And, Billy Bob Thornton, Sandra Bullock, both Academy Award-winning, actors going at one another's throats because their candidate needs to win. So I think, the material was really good. I think the acting, once again, really good. Is it Sandra's best? Probably not.
Mm-mm.
It's not Billy Bob's either, but we get to see a side of Sandy we're not used to seeing. She was a bulldog. She was
blonde Sandy.
Yeah, blonde too.
Blonde
that
Sandy.
Is correct.
And
so,
sick Sandy, too. She was sick for a little while in the movie, too.
Yeah.
I'm not used to that phase. I actually heard somebody elsewhere talk about it and said they noticed she had cankles in the movie. I didn't notice that at all, and I'm not one to ever judge an appearance or really care about that sort of thing in a movie. But
really, I was looking at her the whole time thinking, she
never
stole
saw the
my
cankles.
wardrobe.
Yeah.
I wear that stuff all the time.
I never saw the cankles. I don't know. No, you don't. I see you. You don't wear the Sandy B outfits. Actually, you kind of do.
Okay. All right. I'm like, really?
A
Have you
little
paid
bit.
attention to
Now
what
that
I have
now
on?
that I think about it, I just never put her face in the situation. Anyways,
okay.
Our brand is Crisis. Like I said, it was based in Bolivia, and I found it to be a very entertaining movie with good acting. But I would not recommend that you rush out of the house just yet, unless you're a huge Sandra Bullock fan. But for me, if she's not going 55 miles an hour, I'm not that interested.
Okay. Okay.
Speed joke.
If she's not speeding, you're not interested.
Pretty much. Or on a boat. She was on a boat for the second one, which
there
I
you go.
never saw.
Okay. Well, we're going to agree. If you go to the website, MatineeChat.com, or check us out at MatineeChat on Twitter, I gave it a ranking somewhere between must see on the big screen and wait for the DVD. Like Anthony said, if you love Sandy, go see it. It's not bad. It's just not her best work. But, if you don't love her, you might want to wait till the DVD comes out and check it out.
Catch the full review up on the website, MatineeChat.com, and feel free to contact us with anything you want. Second game of the podcast, we called it Say What, for your chance to win some tickets on the ill side.
Let me bring you up to speed.
Say what?
You talking to me?
Say what again?
Games on the Matinee Chat podcast.
Thanks. I like to play.
Say What.
Unleash the
All right, it's still Kathy's week.
Shall we?
as
He
celebrate
loves my weeks. And yes, we're celebrating Halloween. So here's another scary, really older quote from a movie. But I think when you hear the voice, you're going to know exactly what it is.
All right, here it is.
Will somebody listen to me?
All right, Luther, just calm down.
Calm? Calm? Do murder and calm go together? Calm and murder? Murder?
Murder?
Murder!
Wow.
Murder.
Murder. I was waiting for you to respond like that.
Oh, he's just such a character. So if you know the answer to that, I almost gave it away. So if you know the answer to that, head on to the bottom of this page.
No giving it away. Go to the bottom of the page.
For your chance to win tickets to the lovely Lincoln Theater on the ill side.
Exactly.
And we'll play these
Thank
games
you, Lincoln
again
Theater.
next week for your chance to win some more tickets. All right, the fourth and final review on the Matinee Chat podcast. Why don't I keep doing the Spurge voice? We get to the last one. I gotta stop doing that. I gotta stop doing that. I'm sure the listeners are super annoyed. It was burnt.
Cut it out. Just
Bradley
cut it out.
Cooper and his eyes and chiseled chin and blah, whatever.
Oh, six-pack, whatever.
Who cares? Go make me something, Chef Bradley.
And it wasn't. Okay, yeah, the movie is mostly about Bradley Cooper, but we also, had Sienna Miller, Uma Thurman, Emma Thompson. So there was lots of... Oh, and Alicia Vikander. Remember her? You liked her in a couple movies that we've seen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she made an appearance too. But it's mostly about Bradley wanting to be a chef. He was a 2-star Michelin chef in Paris. Maybe drugs got in the way. Maybe sleeping with his staff got in the way. And here we are back in London trying to get a new restaurant, new team together.
Maybe.
New everything. Did I say it?
Maybe he's trying to get a new team together. We're not too sure. He maybe used drugs.
All right. He
was so great,
used drugs, slept with his staff, and...
What was the funniest part for me was just the trailer. It's just like, for 3 years I was down and out. Wasn't making the food I wanted to make. Now I'm going to make it. Like he was like a ruthless mercenary of chefing, which is really interesting to see. They were trying to convey that, and they did it somewhat. For me, it was more humorous in that sense than it was actually them conveying it very well. But it was, I don't want to say military style sort of esque in the kitchen, but it was definitely well run.
He is definitely a tyrant in the kitchen. All week long, the people that out in LA have been talking about the chefs are giving this movie rave reviews because apparently he did really well in acting like how you have to act, apparently, in a really high-end restaurant to get everyone to do what they need to do so that everything is perfect, which translates to me, I guess you have to be
Gordon Ramsay.
There you go.
Just be Gordon Ramsay, apparently, and it all works out.
But exactly. So, yeah, but Sienna Miller, maybe a love interest.
Maybe.
Along the way. Yeah.
Just maybe a love interest. No chance of them hooking up at all whatsoever.
Have you noticed? I'm not allowed to use that word maybe. I hate giving it all away as
You're
I'm
not
trying
giving
to
it all
explain
away.
the
We're
film.
just explain the plot.
All right. Well, Sienna Miller is, helping him make his way in the kitchen and maybe outside the kitchen too.
Yeah, there's so many dirty jokes. We go with that, but we'll leave this alone for another time.
And for all of you, who are out there dying to go see it, besides the baby blues, because yes, the baby blues are going to draw you in throughout the entire movie. The cinematography on all of this food made me want to rush out and eat an entire meal at 9:00 at night.
It was like watching Pinterest in a movie, except, they look good. Well, Pinterest still looks good, but whenever I try to make myself, it looks terrible. So, yeah, it was very tasty-looking food, and I just kept getting hungrier.
It was very, very, very nice. What were you going to rate it?
The whole mercenary vibe really kind of turned me off big time. I used to work in the kitchen, and not every kitchen has to be like that. I used to have an Italian boss who did have a short temper and would throw things and be angry, but it's not always necessary. But yes, I can see why chefs would agree that this is the way. Because, I mean, every chef would want their kitchen to be run as well as it is in this movie with, the nice kitchen and the order and the follow-through amongst the other chefs.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it was good. If you're looking for a family movie like Chef was last year, 2 years ago with Jon Favreau, it's not it.
No, it's not it.
It's not it
Definitely
whatsoever.
not it. It's rated R for a multitude of reasons, so please don't think it's a family film. It is definitely not.
No, not at all. But if you're into debauchery and good food, I guess go for it. I'm not a Bradley Cooper fan, so I'm not going to rush to the theaters.
Really?
I'm sorry. Baby blues don't get me as hard as they get you.
Oh, nice. Very nice. Well, yes, I do love those baby blues. I definitely think that you want to spend the money to go see it on the big screen. Like I said, the film was incredible from beginning to end, and I didn't have such an aversion like Anthony did to him being a jerk. I kind of liked it. It got the point across.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
All right. I'll remember that in our conversations. Just be the jerk, get your point
I was
across,
say,
Anthony.
He's always the big jerk anyway, so now I just gave him the free-for-all.
The free-for-all, because she's into it, fellas. You heard it here first. Catch the full review up on the website, MatineeChat.com, and feel free to contact us with any movie regards, any questions you have. Next week, I believe La 33 is coming out.
Nope,
no,
not yet.
Again?
Not yet.
Gosh,
yeah, they keep showing us these movies, and then we have to wait a
4
couple
months
weeks
ahead
to
of time.
talk about them. And then the other ones they show us the night before.
Yeah,
they release.
Makes perfect sense.
So 007 is back.
Oh, it's starting next week?
Yes.
All right, cool.
Yes, Spectra's next week.
Pussy Galore 2.0.
There you go. Exactly. Maybe we have a new one of those.
Or maybe it's Tinder Galore nowadays.
There you go. All right. Charles Schultz's characters are back with the Peanuts movie.
Yeah.
So
Snoopy.
the kiddos will be excited about that. Snoopy will
Do the
be
kids
back
even
on the
know
big
who
screen.
Snoopy is anymore?
Yeah, they do. Well, and even if they don't, they're going to now.
Okay.
We're going to talk about Charlie Brown, Lucy, Linus.
Why is
the whole
everybody
group.
always picking on me? All right, go ahead.
Okay. And then Suffragette, which is a true story about women's rights, being able to vote in London. Yeah, Meryl Streep.
Hopefully that's empowering to women.
Very empowering. And I already saw that,
That's right,
so
you get
we'll
to see
talk
it.
about it more.
All right, cool.
Next week.
On the Matinee Chat podcast, which will be 18, so we can vote and get
know.
cigarettes. We're going to smoke cigarettes the entire podcast next week.
I'm so excited. And just so everybody realizes, Anthony didn't get off track this week, so he didn't even have to put $1 in our jar.
That's right.
He
Money
was
in my pocket.
on task this week. We're very proud of him. We're very
proud.
proud.
How cold it's getting? My heat bill is going to be outrageous.
All right, everybody. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch up with you next week.
Have a great weekend at the movies. Bye.
Take care. Bye.